a SWAT team up
No,
there?
but I got that notice.
Did you get it on your Ring doorbell?
Yeah.
Okay, let's get started.
I was at work.
Me too.
Welcome everybody to the 6 p.m. council work session of April 5th, 2022. Let the roll call reflect that all council members are present. First item on our agenda is opening ceremony. I'll defer to Vice Chair Lopez for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Please rise and repeat after me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Thank you. Please consider joining us for a moment of silence. Thank you. Next item on our agenda is acknowledgments. Tonight we're joined by Stacy Bernal in the crowd. She'll be giving us just a quick shout out about awesome autistic Ogden. Come on up.
I wasn't expecting to be first. Thought I'd have some time to
Right out of the gate.
do my grounding exercises. Well, I'm Stacy Bernal. I am the vice chair of the Ogden Diversity Commission, and I am the founder of Awesome Autistic Ogden. First, I want to thank all of you. The past 2 years, we did do the official proclamation, and I really appreciated that because in 2020 and 2021, unfortunately, we weren't able to do very much because of the thing that was happening. So I appreciated that City Council did the official proclamation. So this year, we have been able to do some events, and we continue to do some events. And while we're not doing the official proclamation, that's all fine and well. I appreciate that you're giving me a couple minutes to just kind of share what's going on. We kicked off the month on Friday with the art stroll, and we featured about 30 students' artwork. So these were autistic kids in our school district. And I cannot tell you how meaningful it was for them and their families to come and see their artwork and to feel really special and seen in the community. So thank you to everyone who came out. I know I saw Councilmember Chaburka there. And then the next day, on Saturday, we did a fundraiser at Dailyrise, and this was to raise funds for the family of Izzy Tishnor. So if everyone is familiar with her, her mom was able to come, which was also really cool that she could do that. And we also had an appearance by another council member, Councilmember Ritchie, and I hope it's okay if I say this, he won the Mac Daddy big grand prize of them all. So if you check out his Facebook, so it pays to be involved with your community and show up to the events and support. So again, thank you to everyone who supported that event. We have 2 more opportunities for y'all to engage with our neurodiverse disabled community. Saturday, April 16th at Enable Utah from 11 to 2. We have over 30 vendors. We have 2 food trucks. We have a small petting zoo. And we have some vendors there who are autistic or disabled. And again, I think it's really important to be elevating them and their voices in our community. And I know that they feel really, really special when they get that acknowledgement. And then the last thing that we have is on the 21st, we will be doing a virtual community conversation. We have Deputy Chief Jake Subi, who will be part of that conversation, as well as an educator from Weber School District and an educator from the Special Education Department of Ogden School District. So it's really important that we build those bridges. We know that there's been some stigmatization with law enforcement, and there is stigmatization as well with the disabled community. So we want to have that conversation, show both sides, and bring those together. So again, thank you for helping to have this in the community. I wish it wasn't just in April. I know for me, autism awareness and acceptance and appreciation is a year-round thing. But I think Ogden is doing some great things. I know that Visit Ogden has some things coming up as well to help with the disabled community. And I appreciate everyone in the community who comes together to make this happen. So hopefully we'll see some of you on the 16th. And thank you for having me this evening.
Thank you, Stacey. And thanks for all you do for Ogden. You're As a member of the leadership and the diversity commission, you've been at the fire and police banquets. So thank you. Thanks for being there to support us, support our people. And you had me at Jake Subi. He's an exceptional human being. Thank you. Any other acknowledgements from other council members that they want to mention while we're here? We'd include the mayor in that as well, if there's anything. Okay. All right, before we get to the approval of minutes, we talked about maybe a schedule shuffle real quick since we've
Mr.
got some
Chair,
folks here.
if I could make a motion to reorder our agenda a little bit, to move item 6A to make it three, right after 3. 3.5.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion by Councilmember Heyer, second by Councilmember Blair to move item 6A to follow immediately after item 3.
It's actually not 6A.
Yeah.
There is a 6A. Well, maybe it is 6A. Is it 6A?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, 6A. Okay, you're correct. I
Okay.
was in the zone.
This changes a voice vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any approved? That passes. We'll go through these minutes really quickly then, and we'll bring you up, Mr. Bielik, for your presentation. Approval of minutes, the special meeting of May 11th, 2021, and the regular meeting of October 5th, 2021. Councilmember Heyer.
Yes, Chair, I've reviewed those, found them to be accurate to my recollection.
Regular meeting of August 17th, 2021, and closed session of October 5th, 2021. Councilmember Blair.
Yes, thank you, Chair. I have reviewed both of those minutes and found them to be accurate.
Thank you for that work. Work session of May 25th, joint work session, special meeting of June 8th, and special meeting of June 24th. Councilmember White.
Yes, Chair, I've reviewed those and found them to be accurate.
Thank you. Joint work session of May 18th, work session of August 3rd, regular meeting of September 7th, joint work session of September 14th, and work session of October 12th. Councilmember
Yes, I
Jaberka.
really felt like I was going down memory lane, reviewing those minutes. They were accurate to my recollection, Chair, and I move that we approve these minutes.
Second.
A motion by Councilmember Jaberka, second by Councilmember Heyer to approve the minutes as presented. This is a voice vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Those minutes pass. Okay, we'll bring up Mr. Craig Bielik as the committee chair for the Christmas Village Committee to give us a report from the administration on the committee sunset. Welcome.
Hi, how are you? Hello, everyone. Thank you for having us out tonight to talk about Christmas Village, one of my absolutely favorite subjects and hopefully one of your favorite subjects too. This is our sunset report that we make, and I'm going to be talking about the village. I'm going to go through it pretty quickly. I assume that you have all had a chance to see the report, and if not, then you can go ahead and take a look at it later. I don't know, am I in control over here, or who's clicking? And
You are cloaked in power with that right there. You are driving everything.
are you the clicker? I can be. Okay, I just wanted to establish roles, just to make sure that we're all clear. Let's go to our next slide then. Hopefully everybody here is familiar with Christmas Village. This is something that the city can be very, very proud of. It has grown over the last few years to become a nationally recognized attraction in northern Utah. We have other cities that are completely jealous and trying to catch up with us and trying to mimic what we've done and created. And we are very, very proud of it. The Christmas Village Committee consists of 14 members, and it is currently chaired by Nikki Lavelle. Nikki is out of town conveniently for tonight's presentation so that I could make it. The 14 members are business owners, they're private citizens, and we have some Ogden City staff. In fact, we have Monty Stewart and Jacob. Are you here? Yeah, he's still here. Jacob Chadwick are here. We have some other city staff members also that help us with it. And we absolutely could not make Christmas Village happen without the support of the staff and the community. And that I need to make very, very clear before we go too much farther. Go ahead. Along those lines, it takes a lot of our city staff. It takes a lot of their effort. They string approximately 750,036 decorative lights. Okay, I make up a number every time somebody asks me how many lights we have down there, just to make sure I'm keeping them on their toes. But we have a lot of lights, and it takes a long time. They also contribute greatly to helping us upgrade our cottages, making the new people have LED lights. They put up the static displays, all of those sorts of things. There's a photo of them right there. Next. In case you don't know, Christmas Village started in 1962. It's become a holiday tradition for nearly everyone in northern Utah. It sagged a little bit in the late 90s and early 2000s and was revitalized in 2001 and has grown to be more than 60 cottages now. In addition, we have entertainment at the amphitheater and the municipal gardens. Christmas Village is a long-standing tradition in our area and one that is beloved, to say the least. Our opening night, let's talk about that. We were canceled, of course, like almost everything in 2020 for opening night, but we returned in 2021 with, if you were there, probably the largest crowd I have ever seen. I've been a member of the committee for more than 20 years. It's a tradition that we have our Make-A-Wish child and Santa turn on our lights, and then we have fireworks afterwards. That's an actual stage shot from our 2021 opening, and you can see that it was packed. Right before our opening, we have the Holiday Electric Light Parade. We estimate about 15,000 in attendance. We have more than 400 staff and volunteer hours that are committed to the parade with 50 floats and the police and fire department groups. We have a variety of organizations that participate, and in fact, to date, we've never rejected anyone, and we get very, very positive public feedback. And I should point out, if any of you have any questions or anything, just stop me and ask. I don't mind being interrupted. I really don't. The village itself is full of cottages. Again, we have about 60 of them. We have been working and getting with our vendors and our sponsors to make sure that they are well kept, well lit, and modern. We also hired a group this year to repaint a lot of the figures in the village to represent more diversity in our community. And we are also offering a year off and a grant to some of our sponsors who would like to upgrade their cottage. Next one, please. I talked about that. Next one. One of the popular things we do each year is this game called I Spy. We hide something in each cottage and we ask children to find it. I had no idea how popular this was until I had grandchildren. It was not a big deal, I didn't think. And this year, I nearly froze to death before they could find all the ornaments, you know. It was a Weber State ornament this year. We have ideas for what we're going to do next year, but I Spy is super popular. Next. Another really popular feature of Christmas Village is that we do Santa and Mrs. Claus. Santa's in the village every night to hear your wishes, get a photo with you. Mrs. Claus takes school-age children on tours of the village in the daytime in both English and Spanish. We received some donations from very generous sponsors so that we were able to give out goodie bags. In 2021, a little more than 1,000 preschool children visited Mrs. Santa and toured the village. Next. Entertainment. We like to have a wide variety of entertainment. We ask that they perform holiday-style performances there on the amphitheater stage, but we've had rap, jazz, folk, elementary, Broadway-style, and ballet, just everything you can think of. In 2021, we had 21 nights of entertainment with a total of 964 local performers. We paid out a little more than $3,400. Breakfast with Santa has become one of our fundraisers for the village. We hold that a couple of weeks before Christmas on Saturday at the Union Station. We average about 250 in attendance. Very popular event. We've got it down to science. It's starting to work really, really well. Train rides. Hopefully you all had a train ride. Did you? Raise your hand. Did you have a train ride? Thank you. Yep. We have, this year we had the old train from the Lauren Farr Park that some of our maintenance crew had worked many years to restore. We've had that for a few years. It's free ride over there, located on the northwest side of the park. Really popular, kind of hard to get onto on a Saturday night, but it's worth the wait. Thanks. We also added a Christmas Village store a few years ago where we sell some memorabilia, stocking stuffers, these great sweatshirts, all of those sorts of things. The profits are turned back into the village, and the store is manned by the Christmas Village Committee and volunteers. Photo ops, we've included and added more every year. These little photo ops where people can stick their faces through, get their picture taken. This is to enhance the experience, to make Christmas Village even more memorable, and of course to spread the word via social media and those sorts of platforms. We also feature reindeer in the park. 2 of Santa's actual reindeer, his actual reindeer, are here for 2 nights in our village each year, and that event, of course, is free too. In 2020, we were faced with the cancellation of our grand opening ceremonies, so we produced what we called holiday cooking traditions, aired these on our local television stations. We had representatives from a lot of diverse communities in our city come and share their holiday traditions and show us how to prepare a meal or a treat or a drink, something like that. We're still airing those. Next. So we're accomplished. There is a slide coming up next to show you all of our recognitions and our achievements. In 2018, for example, we were voted best in state in the community development, public sector, public work category. That is nice to have that recognition. Next one. There's some links and a few other things, a few other media outlets and websites that I'm trying to think of the word, that review Christmas and travel. I don't know what I'm trying to say. They're there. People know us and they recognize us. Next. So what's up for the future? Well, if you're doing your math right, 2022 is our 60th anniversary. And 60th is the diamond anniversary. Our theme will be Shine Bright. Some of the things we'd like to do this year is purchase and install a large illuminated and animated tree. We've been looking at them. We have it in our budget. We feel like we can make that happen this year. I've also looked at renting about a 120-foot Ferris wheel. I don't know if it can happen. It's illuminated. It's beautiful. I don't know if we can make that happen. The company's a little reluctant to bring it all the way out here to Utah. And I called them up on the phone and they said, no, there's no possible way. And then they called me back and said, we looked at photos of Christmas Village and we want to be involved if we can. I don't know if that'll happen. We also would like to partner with a local jewelry to see if there's some sort of contest to give away a diamond. We are going to update Santa's Castle and our store. And our dream is to somehow build or get a temporary structure or something to have a children's story reading area so that when children came to the park, they could come in for a free Christmas story. Next. So I know you're looking at the ordinance, and at this time, we are not making any recommended changes to the Christmas Village Committee. We feel like it works pretty well. We have good membership, hardworking people. We'd like to keep it the same way, if that's okay with you. Next. And there's a thank you from me and 4 of my 5 grandchildren for everything you do for Christmas Village. And remember, that picture is what this is all about. It's about a free family activity that is a long-standing tradition, very, very loved, very, very appreciated. When people find out that I'm chair or have been chair of Christmas Village, they stop me when I'm out in the public. They tell me thank you. Okay, they love it. You all love it. I know you do. Your families love it. Let's keep it going, okay? Anything else? Any questions?
Chair, I ran into Craig and a few of his grandkids the other day. They're legit.
Yes, I really do have grandchildren. By some stroke of a miracle, I found a woman to marry, and and we do have grandchildren, and we all come, and it's just the highlight of my year to bring mine down.
I am really curious, Chair, maybe others are too, of how long is the waiting list to get on the Christmas Village committee?
Well, we have open positions. Stacy, do we have one open right now? We have one.
Oh, really?
So we could take someone if you know someone that would like to do it. It's a fun committee. It's staffed with good people that do what they're supposed to. I mean, you know how committees go, right? And Christmas Village Committee is probably my favorite committee. I tell this to people all the time because the people on the committee, we know what we're going to do, and we do it.
If Councilmember Hyatt can be Santa Claus, he'll join the committee.
Oh, okay. Let's-
I got the girth, but no.
He's got the girth but not the
Chair.
growth, I guess.
I just have a comment.
Yep.
That one. I just wanted to thank the committee and the staff so much for answering my questions recently about, inclusion and equity in the committee and in the whole event. I really appreciated all the correspondence and the way that you were really thoughtful about the work that you're doing. The idea is just that, obviously it's a very Christmas-focused event, thus its name, and that it's sort of based on Santa's village, or the toy shop and village. So I really appreciated that, and I think that some of the ways that we can make all of the events around the time of the holiday be more inclusive is maybe think about how we brand them, all together. So there was some really interesting and cool living traditions kind of things happening at the Union Station that celebrated some other religions or faiths, and celebrations around the holidays. And then we have the electric light parade, etc. So I just really appreciate you all taking all those things into consideration. And obviously I love the whole Christmas village and everything about it too. I just want to make sure that everybody feels really welcome in our community. So I appreciate your thoughtful response to me.
Thank you. Thank you. It is important to us too. We want it to be a warm and welcoming place for everyone. And we want everyone to feel like they're included. I can't think of anyone that's not welcome at Christmas Village.
There's two things. One is I think you need to figure out with our staff how many times to the moon and back those lights go. All the strings of lights. They've got to go to the moon and back a couple times because.
Not being good at math, I'm probably going to hand that over to somebody else.
Yeah, I just think that I was just kidding. Really,
Yeah.
There's a lot of lights. I think you can see this thing from space.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of cool. I'm just very happy at our staff and the administration at the priority that they put on this, and I think it is one of those things that just really sets Ogden off as a cool, different place.
I hope I made the point that Ogden City staff is extremely crucial to this, and we are so appreciative of what they do. There are a lot of lights, and there are a lot of hours that go into stringing those lights, keeping them lit, coming down on Friday night when a fuse is tripped to take care of that, making sure that the stage is up and running, all of those sorts of things. Very, very grateful for their support.
I think what Councilmember Ayers is going for is how many times can they get to the North Pole and back?
Maybe that's it.
Yeah.
That'll work.
Any other questions for Craig?
Mr. Chair, if I can just add my gratitude. Thank you all. I know the countless hours that go into this from the committee, but I know the countless hours that go in from Public Works and everything else. Walking every day during the fall months when it's cold, windy, raining, snowing, and those guys are out getting it all done, and I see Monty's face before the switch is flipped when we have that special event on the stage, and I know everybody's in a little bit of a panic, and you just need to know how much we appreciate the work that you all put into this as a staff and that you all put in as a committee. So thank you all very much. It is a very special thing for our community, and that's a collective effort. So thank you all for everything everybody puts into it.
We hope so. That's what we want it to be.
Thanks for your report, Craig.
You bet.
Thank you.
And you're 100% correct about the staff. You got some of the best that there is helping with this committee. So,
Chair, if I might,
Yes,
I
you may.
would love to make a motion that we adopt ordinance 2022-13.
Second.
we have a motion by Councilmember Heyer, second by Councilmember Ritchie to adopt proposed ordinance 2022-13. This is a roll call vote.
Councilmember Blair,
Aye.
Councilmember Chaburka,
Aye.
Councilmember Heyer,
Aye.
Councilmember Ritchie,
Aye.
Councilmember White,
Aye.
Vice Chair Lopez,
Aye.
Chair Nadolski.
Aye, that passes. Thank you so much for Craig and members of the committee and members of the staff who are here for that report and for all the work that you guys do. We have some really great committees, great staff, and great outcomes from all of those committees, but I don't know if any of them are as passionate and magical as this one is. So keep up the magic. You're making an impact. Okay, going back to our original agenda, what is currently listed as item 4 on the agenda. items of common consent, we have a consideration of appointments to the Ogden City Arts Committee and to the Ogden Trails Network Committee.
Chair, I'll go ahead and make a motion that we adopt the 2 items listed under common consent.
Second.
We have a motion by Councilmember Blair, second by Councilmember Chaburka to adopt the items listed under common consent. This is a voice vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes. On to the,
Chair, if,
Yeah.
if I could still just make an appeal to put a posting at the trailhead signs to ask for volunteers that would like to participate in that Trails Network. I think we can homogenize our city a little better if we do that.
thanks for the reminder. Okay, next item is the public hearing. We'll be hearing from Lisa Stout and Leslie Judkins from Human Resources on the employee salaries and cost of living adjustments.
Justin will
I
be
guess-
doing it instead of Lisa.
Okay,
You might notice that he doesn't look like Lisa.
Just look a little different.
I'm not going to say anything. Welcome, you guys.
Clicker, you want to do it or you want me to click? Good evening, council members, and thank you for having us tonight. So we just want to discuss a recommendation for a mid-year wage adjustment for full-time general employees and sworn firefighter employees. As you know, we are in a tight market. We have some tough recruitment and retention challenges. Year-to-date, our turnover is about 10%, and just this past pay period, we lost 10 full-time employees. 9 resigned and 1 retired. So it is really a tight market, and we need to do all we can to try to keep our employees. As a recap of what we've done for compensation, the city administration recognizes the contribution and importance of city employees, and we prioritize that for the last several years. We had our Evergreen Solutions Compensation Study, and due to the economic uncertainty of COVID, we've had to do that in 3 phases. So phase 1 and 2 were completed during FY21 and 22, and phase 3 was completed for sworn police personnel in November of 2021, which was for FY22. So we'll kind of go over what we've done so far. So phase 1, that was approved in April of 2021. That was a 4% salary and pay range adjustment for full-time employees. And then the employees also received a one-time lump sum stipend from that increase. Phase 2, we implemented the recommended salary tables and pay ranges. That was done in July 2021. All employees were placed at the new pay grade minimum or to the closest step. And then we implemented the recommended job titles on top of that. So if bringing the employee to the minimum was not at least 4%, every employee received at least a 4% increase in July of 2021 to start out FY22. And then sworn police and fire, they were also eligible for their next step. Theirs happens on their anniversary date, where general employees all happen once a year in July. Due to some hiring crisis and turnover in the police department, if you recall back in November of 2021, we went ahead and moved forward with the phase 3 implementation for the sworn police department. So that means that we moved all of the sworn police officers to their full progression step to get them equal to their years of service. And we also adjusted their pay structure. That was an annual budget impact of about $2.5 million. And I don't know if Justin has anything to add, but this change really made a significant difference and improved our recruitment and retention for the police department. So it did what it was intended to do, and we were thankful for that. So the phase 3 proposal is to finalize and finish up the Evergreen Solutions compensation study. So for general employees, what that means is we will place them now in their pay grade at where they were prior to their new pay grade. So if they were progressed 50% through their pay grade when we dropped them in July of 2021, we'll now move them to their 50% of that new pay, of their pay range currently. So we already have them in their new pay grade. That happened in July of 2021. This would just making their final adjustment under the Evergreen solutions and finalizing and finishing out that compensation study. As I just mentioned, we did that for police. We finalized sworn police in November of 2021. We would also do that for sworn fire employees. We'll now move them to their full progression step and finalize and close out the Evergreen solution compensation study for that process as well. So when I talk about that, that just means if they have 5 years of service, we're moving them to the correct step to meet that years of service for that employee. In addition to the phase 3 of the study, we're also recommending a COLA for the general employees and the fire employees, the sworn fire employees. That would be a 2% cost of living increase. All full-time merit, non-merit special, and sworn fire personnel would receive a 2% COLA. By doing that, that also shifts the range structure, so the whole pay grades would shift by 2%. Again, it excludes sworn police because they did receive their adjustment in November of 2021.
So with this phase 3 approach, obviously there's a cost to it. And so before you tonight, there's 2 different ordinances that are being proposed to be adopted tonight. The first one has to do with amending the salary schedules. As Leslie talked about with the COLA, the cost of living adjustment, shifting that 2% would shift all of those tables by 2%. So that would be an amendment to the merit, non-merit, and sworn fire schedules. So that's the first ordinance. The second ordinance is the budget that goes along with this change. As you can see on the screen, the breakdown of the full progression cost for general employees versus the COLA costs, and then same with the fire, and then the impact of what the total amount being asked to add to the budget right now is just over $700,000. That the revenue to offset this addition comes from unrealized revenues that we've received this year over and above what we had originally budgeted throughout the general fund and then the enterprise funds. The total cost in the general fund specifically is just shy of $500,000 that would be added. And I know when we met in work session a few weeks ago, there was a couple questions that got asked as far as the number of employees and the average increase, and I thought I'd just share a couple of those statistics with you. So obviously, with what Leslie said, we've lost a few more employees. But when we first ran this information, there was about 475 general and sworn firefighters that were included in this. And out of that, about the overall average was about a 7% increase with the 2% COLA. And so it is a pretty substantial increase, and it's very helpful with what's being projected. And out of that, with the way that we've done the 4% last April, and then what we adopted this year, there were quite a few people that it pushed them into where they would already be for their full progression. And so the number of employees that would be receiving above 2%, there's about 57% of the general employees would be receiving above 2%. So that means that that 43% they'd only be getting that cost of living adjustment. So that's partially why we're also recommending the cost of living adjustment, because there are so many that have already been pushed into where they need to be. And then same with fire, there's a handful of firefighters that, because of getting their step, they've already progressed to where they need to be. And so again, that cost of living adjustment is to help with that. So
if this is approved, the recommendation is to make that effective the current pay period that we're in, which began on Saturday, April 2nd, to make those changes. I also would like to reiterate that this is for FY22, and that we understand that we still have a long way to go, and we'll be working on a proposal for the new budget year for FY23. We're committed to the employees. They're our main priority. Without them, we all know that it's hard to get things done, and we just want them to know that they're at the forefront of our minds as we try to work through these compensation issues. So, any questions?
Thanks, you guys. Questions for Justin and Lisa?
Chair, I just have a real quick question. So we we asked Evergreen to do this study in 2019, right? So we're already 2-3 years past that. Do we have, I mean, I think that's our job to say we should do it again, but do you feel like that was important and should we do it again? I guess is the next question.
So that has been a topic of discussion, and we understand with the data is old, and that's part of our presentation that will come forward. But I do think that we need to, once these are implemented and maybe with what's recommended for the upcoming budget, if that gets approved and implemented, I do think we need a data refresh just to see where we are landing with the market.
Thanks.
Good question, thanks. Any other questions for these two?
I just wanted to give an attaboy, attagirl for what you've done here. I think maybe you even understated our feeling about the value of our employees. You know, I think it's pretty clear that we as council members recognize the value of our employees, and it's not only hard to get things done, it's impossible to get things done. And we are eager to make sure that our employees, I'm very sensitive to they have children and spouses and things that go on in their lives. They need to, you know, and everybody feels this when they go to the gas pump and the grocery store. And, you know, inflation is a serious issue that we haven't had to contend with to this extent in the past. And we're fully aware of that and want to make sure that our employees recognize that we know that. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, you guys. Speaking of brilliant employees, I've asked our deputy director, Glenn Symes, to come and give us a clarification. I guess in the interest of transparency, we made an effort to be transparent about our own and ran into a little snafu that Glenn's going to help us clarify.
Yeah, thank you. So speaking of compensation studies, so the council office recently contracted with Evergreen to do a compensation study for elected officials. And because that was going on, when this proposal was brought forward, it was the desire of the council to have the elected officials left out of this cost of living increase. And so that adjustment was made to Exhibit C of the salary schedule ordinance that you have in front of you. However, it was pointed out that in the ordinance that was adopted last year dealing with compensation for the council and the mayor, that when it came to cost of living adjustments, the council and the mayor would take those with the regular employees as proposed. So because of that, because the ordinance essentially requires you all to be included in that if it's a cost of living increase, that exhibit needs to be updated to reflect a 2% increase for council and mayor salaries. So with that, we have a substitute Exhibit C that goes along with Ordinance 2022-10. And that has been sent to all of you. For anybody in the chambers who is interested in seeing that, we do have some hard copies available if anybody wants to see those numbers. But if you look at the packet information, if you find Exhibit C and look at the non-merit special employees, which is Exhibit C, the mayor, council chair, council vice chair, and council members, all of those numbers would go up 2%. With the updated substitute exhibit. So with that, are there any questions that you would have for me?
Thank you, Glenn. We're trying to be just fair and reasonable and transparent with our own salaries. It's always weird to have to deal with your own salary. And so we were pulling these aside so that we could take care of the employees while this Evergreen study is completed. But last year when we made that ordinance change, the idea was let's get to a fair number and then just try and stay there. So anyway, we kind of got tripped up a little bit on our own efforts to put the people first.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean
to
interrupt you.
You're good.
Just to follow up with the study, we should have a presentation for the council in a couple of weeks on the findings of that study. So that is ongoing. We're wrapping it up. Ross is heading that up. So we're almost there with that.
Is there anybody, just by show of hands, that wants a hard copy of the data that Glenn mentioned? Okay, just making sure. Thank you, Glenn. Appreciate it. Does anybody have questions for Glenn before his brilliance comes back to our side? Okay. Thanks, bud. Okay, this is a public hearing, so we'll accept public comment on this item. If you care to address the council on this item, please limit your comments to 3 minutes and state your name for the record. Man, that got quiet.
Chair, seeing no movement or no hands online, I would make a motion that we close the public hearing on this item.
Second.
We have a motion by Councilmember Heyer, second by Councilmember Blair to close this public hearing. This is a voice vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes. Having received presentation in the comment, we are open for action.
Chair, I would,
I'm seeing panelists on our screen, but I
Oh.
didn't see the attendees. Are there no? were
Did I
there
miss
no-
anybody in that?
No hands?
attendees.
Okay,
The
all right.
Attendees are listed.
But did any? No, you were good
Okay,
there. We're good.
sorry.
No,
Thank
thanks
you.
for clarifying. Thanks. Okay, Councilmember Heyer.
yes, I would make a
Sorry.
motion then, Chair, that we adopt ordinance 2022-10 with the substitute Exhibit C, updating the salaries for the mayor and council members, reflecting the 2% COLA increase.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion by Councilmember Heyer, second by Councilmember Chaburka to adopt proposed ordinance 2022-10, including substitute Exhibit C as presented. This is a roll call vote.
Councilmember Chaburka,
Aye.
Councilmember Heyer,
Aye.
Councilmember Ritchie,
Aye.
Councilmember White,
Aye.
Councilmember Blair,
Aye.
Vice Chair Lopez,
Aye.
Chair Nadolski.
Aye, that passes.
Ready for the next?
Yes, sir.
And I would make a motion then that we adopt proposed ordinance 2022-11.
Second.
We have a motion by Councilmember Heyer, second by Councilmember White to adopt proposed ordinance 2022-11. This also is a roll call vote.
Councilmember Heyer,
Aye.
Councilmember Ritchie,
Aye.
Councilmember White,
Aye.
Councilmember Blair,
Aye.
Councilmember Chaburka,
Aye.
Vice Chair Lopez,
Aye.
Chair Nadolski.
Aye, that passes. Thanks for all your work, you guys, on, where did they go? There they are. Thanks for all your work on this. Thanks to the administration, mayor, and CAO. We know where you guys place your priority. Just so that if there's any other employees that are not in the room, they're listening to this, y'all should know it's not just talk from mayor, administration, CAO, council. Like, you guys are incredible people. We're really blessed to have you. It's really easy to say when we have so many incredible people sitting right in front of us. So, okay. Continuing on to item 5B, fiscal year 2022-2026 capital improvement plan amendments. We'll bring up Barton Brierly, our senior planner, CED. Welcome back, Barton. Getting to know you better and better, aren't we?
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. So this is a request to amend the capital improvement plan for project AR014, which was to modify the terminal building and TSA holding room at the airport. There was $520,000 in the capital improvement plan. It came to the attention of the airport that there's opportunities for federal funding for additional improvements there, which would allow greater expansion of the terminal to allow indoor baggage claim, additional waiting area for passengers. And so the simple request is to amend the CIP to put in $1 million for the next 5 years, which would be federal funds. So that's the simple request.
And you're getting good. Any questions for Barton? Seeing none, this.
Chair, I see we have our airport manager here. It'd be enlightening, at least from this council member, to know how it's going to play out. If he would like to tell us.
Come on up, Brian.
What's in the
Brian.
works?
Just to be very brief, it's part of the Bill Act, the bipartisan infrastructure law that was passed. They provided a large sum of money in the billions for airports, and it was divvied out in 3 chunks. One was for, like the entitlement monies, the $1 million that we get every year. And we will get our $1 million that we'd get anyway, and we get an additional $1 million for the next 5 years. So you add that to the money that was already budgeted for the previous project, and we get a real nice project for the terminal building. The highlights are inside baggage claim, probably quadrupling the amount of restrooms in the hold room, doubling the size of the hold rooms. The whole intent is to make it so that we can handle 3 airline aircraft at the same time. And this will do it all. And so I believe we'll be back to you at a later time to ask for the additional money, the recognition of the money that's coming in by the feds, and the ability to spend it. Thank you.
Thanks, Brian.
Yes.
No, I just said thank you. Okay.
Ready for a motion?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this is public,
This is a public hearing. Yep, it is.
Correct. That's what I was flipping around to check and didn't apparently do that. This also is a public hearing, so if you care to address the council on this item, please come to the mic and state your name and limit your comments to 3 minutes. Okay. No motion in the crowd. I don't see any on the attendees either online.
Chair, I'd make a motion then that we close the public hearing on this item.
Second.
We have a motion by Councilmember Heyer, second by Councilmember Blair to close the public hearing. This is a voice vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Public hearing is closed. Now we are prepared for action.
Chair, then I would make a motion that we adopt ordinance 2022-12.
Second.
I have a motion by Councilmember Heyer, second by Councilmember Blair to adopt proposed ordinance 2022-12. This is a roll call vote.
Councilmember Ritchie.
Aye.
Councilmember White.
Aye.
Councilmember Blair.
Aye.
Councilmember Chaburka.
Aye.
Councilmember Heyer.
Aye.
Vice Chair Lopez.
Aye.
Chair Nadolski.
Aye. That passes. Okay, moving ahead. Thank you, Bart. Councilmember Blair, for the record, is asked to be excused for a private matter. Okay, moving on to public comments. This is an opportunity to address the council regarding concerns or ideas on any topic. Please state your name for the record and limit your comments to 3 minutes. Hi. How you doing, Kerry?
Okay, I'm Kerry Wayne. I'm your neighbor from across the street. And again, I'm back again asking for something to be done as far as the BDO development. We still don't have a timetable for not one single issue that's been identified over the 6 months ago. It's been a year since the project was started. Aaron's letter, I don't know where, he must not visit the site as often as I do because the narrative didn't match the visual facts. And so what I'd like to do is, again, I'm pleading with you to sit down, meet with the citizens there over in Mary Slaterville. Let's talk about this. Let's get something done on it. Again, we can't wait forever. I talked to one of the neighbors today, and they were so upset that he said we would never be satisfied. We've never had anything done. I mean, correcting your mistakes is not the same as doing something. Again, we frozen dust. I mean, my house is so incredibly buried in dust over there, and for Aaron to say, "Oh, it's all frozen to the ground. There's no dust." Mayor Van Loon was out in that dust storm the last month ago, and he got pelted. Same thing with Bill Morris. He got pelted with all the stuff coming off the BDO site. That ground has been stripped for, like I say, a year on our side. And again, they're not doing a thing as far as getting it done. Again, the water, we talked to you about the water, that they covered the ditch that drained the water. And now they're saying, well, if you want it opened back up, I guess we could do that. Well, when I talked to the county about stormwater, I says, you guys got to do something. We can't live with a swamp across the street. Again, I have a photo of one of their high lifts. They couldn't get it out for a week because it was stuck in the mud over there. They put up the silt fence, which should have been put up a year ago, and somebody drove through that because right across my property. They drove right through the middle of it, and they had to go put it back up, the post back up, and got their machine stuck and had to go drag it out. But again, all we're asking for is be fair with us. I'm I don't think there's one person on that side of the road that is a evil person or a bad person or a greedy person. And it's just a matter of nothing has been addressed. Nothing. Give us a timetable. Tell us, hey, we're going to take care of this on Tuesday. We're going to talk to you on Wednesday. Let's do something. Because again, I get tired of being the grumpy old guy across the street coming and begging you to do something. And it just needs to happen. So again, I just hope you work on it, okay, for me? And again, those people over there are great people. And again, when you meet with them, you'll understand why I think that. Okay? Thanks again.
Welcome.
Welcome. My name's Alan Walker.
And I'm Mike Miller. I live down on the old Shoup subdivision down Wall and 7th Street. I'm trying to build a garage, and every turn that we turn, we're getting fought with about codes that are old codes, I do believe, and they need to, they tell us we can't put metal siding that's baked enamel on the side of a garage because it's not acceptable. I mean, you can't get more acceptable siding than something that's going to last you for 30 years. I got pictures of stuff that I could give to you, and you guys can look through them, and you can see the difference. I have a gray one that's 4 houses down the street that's been here since the 60s, 70s, and it looks better than most of the new vinyl siding stuff that they're putting up. And the vinyl siding costs you $5,000, $10,000 more to put the vinyl siding on your garage than the metal siding, and the metal siding will outlive your vinyl siding by years and years, and it's just costing the people, the Ogden public money that, we really don't have right now. And so we're kind of coming to you to see if you could do something to help us.
Okay. Anything to add before we?
I just wanted to say
address
that
that?
code was, we've applied for a permit. We've been helped and talked to. The people and the staff have been fairly good, pretty well. Somebody was sick for like a week and didn't get back to us for a long time. Life goes on. The code is like 15-13-33. It talks about metal siding on the buildings. I'm the contractor, or hopeful contractor. I'm building the building for him.
Yeah.
I've been doing these things for 10 years. I haven't, and I've gone and taken wood siding off of buildings and put metal siding on. Because why? The wood siding needs maintenance. It needs to be kept up. You drive around almost anywhere and you'll see all these things that are acceptable on the code. Wood siding or T111 siding. All these things need to be painted every 5 years.
Can I approach you? Or?
Yeah, can you just hand them to Brandon
Or
for
I'm
me?
over here.
I don't want to.
Mr. Chair?
Yeah.
Can I ask what the address was again?
169 West Gwen Street.
Cool. Thanks, man.
And it just, it seems kind of crazy. There's one that's in.
Can you come to the mic, please?
Okay.
Thank you. Just so we can get you on for the record. Thank you.
There's one that's, it's leaning to a 90-degree angle, ready to fall down. Mine, I have one existing now, and it's just so old, and the maintenance, I paint it, and 6 months later, the paint's back off the building, and, I'm trying to make something that will improve the looks of our neighborhood. And, if we could go with metal siding that's a baked enamel, it's going to last for 50 years, 60 years, and you're never going to have to touch it. And
Okay.
so, it would help to improve the looks of the neighborhoods that we live in, and, it would help the people's pocketbooks too. We're living in kind of a crazy time right now.
So we've got some really smart people in the city that can help us with this. I'm watching the mayor and CAO take notes on your situation and address.
We will look into it and be in touch.
We're almost done with the meeting. You guys hang tight until after the meeting. Would that be all right?
Mm-hmm.
You can take it up.
Hang out later?
Yeah, if you could just hang out for a little bit longer.
Yeah, not a problem.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, you guys. Okay, anybody else in the chambers? Yeah, come on up. Welcome, how are you?
Hello, my name's Rena Jordan. My husband and I moved to the Ogden area 24 years ago from New Orleans, a big historic city. Now that as empty nesters, we actually have moved to historic 25th Street 3 years ago, and very much enjoy living there. But I was surprised to hear that the builder of a new property on 25th Street next to about 136 25th Street is executing plans for a 5-story building. I applaud any improvements to this incredible gem of a neighborhood. And also a commercial district, but I can't understand how such a tall building will fit into the architectural and historical feel of the neyborhood. I don't know of any other building of a similar height. It will appear looming in this iconic neighborhood and on this iconic street. That street has been used to film movies of eras in the 1800s. That won't make sense in a 5-story building. Clearly, at some point, this was approved, and so I feel dismayed by a building of this height. I hope it's something that could be reconsidered. It may be too late. The footings, the foundations are being built. But yes, it will obscure my view, but that's not the point. The point is the integrity of a beautiful neighborhood.
Ms. Jordan, what was the address of that again?
It is, I don't know the exact address of the building, but it's right next door to 136.
136?
Yeah.
What street?
25th Street.
25th, okay.
Yes. It's right on 25th Street.
Okay, all right.
So it's between Wall and Lincoln.
Okay,
So
thanks.
I hope this will be something that will be considered, even though they've already started construction.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, anybody else in the chambers? Okay, we'll go to online. I see that Heath Sato has it. Heath, I think you know the routine.
Hey, everyone. Good to see you guys tonight. Heath Sato, Ogden resident. I just wanted to raise up Cherry Wayne's comments again. I really don't think they're getting the attention they need. I will again remind everyone that we are developing that area to profit Ogden. And in doing it, we are seriously harming the lives of our neighbors. I don't want to be that kind of neighbor. And I would like to congratulate the mayor on his extra $1,000 a month almost that he's getting now that you all just approved. But I would like him to do more than just say he's taking notes. I want him to actually earn his income and actually be a mayor and make some decisions and show some vision, show some leadership, and do something more than say he's just taking notes when we've actively harmed our neighbors' lives for profit. So that's all I want to say, and I hope we'll get more than I'm taking notes. Thanks.
Thank you. Any others care to address the council? Okay, seeing no other hands, we'll move to comments from the mayor.
Nothing to add at this time, thank you.
Okay, comments from the council.
Chair, I looked up that ordinance, and I remembered we did modify this ordinance within the last year, if I'm not mistaken, that allowed for that type of exterior material if, let's see, if a relief feature is included on at least one side of the building that breaks up the longer side, front or roof elevation of the building. And so change in your architecture may solve this problem. And And I can tell you, if my memory serves, which it oftentimes doesn't for this long ago, when I was on the planning commission, we reviewed this, and the reason is because it just looks so industrial. And in a residential, that was what was trying to be eliminated, is the industrial feel of exterior buildings. And that's why that material was singled out. But if you can change your architecture a little bit, it looks like you can still meet the ordinance. And if you don't want to do that, you can always petition to change the ordinance. That's always available to every citizen. So.
Okay. We'll let you guys, if you got some questions, take it up with these guys after, if that's okay. Okay. Any other council members? Comments from other council members?
I just wanted to the 25th Street, not necessarily that particular project, because I think you're right, it's well on its way, but there are different ways that you can be informed about what's happening, you know, on our schedule, on the Planning Commission schedule, so that you can be sort of aware of these things as they're happening, because sometimes they happen for years. I mean, many of these projects are in like the Planning Commission, they come back forward to us many times too. So I'd be happy to share some of those resources, but you could subscribe to our email account, and I think maybe the Planning Commission too. So that way you'll know when all these things are happening, because we have a huge plan actually downtown called the Make Ogden Plan. I would love to share that with you so you can kind of see what the whole plan is for downtown, and then you can give feedback about that too. Yeah, we can share it after.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks, Councilmember Jaberga. Comments from other council members?
Chair, just a quick comment. Just wanted to make a comment that conversation we had at the work session. Mayor, we were talking about water in the work session, and Mr. Johnson told us that this week he and your team have had some robust discussions as to the dire situation of our water supplies here in the city and for our residents. And I made the comment that I would make a plea to have a very, very strong, aggressive plan for how we're going to combat these. And that I think our council colleagues agree that we want to help in any way we can. And if there's a way to get updates as much as possible about how we're going to mitigate these and how, you know, what this is going to look like, I would really appreciate it. So just wanted to re-emphasize that. Thank you so much.
I appreciate that, and it's a priority for us. And so we'll push all that information out, and we can use everybody's help in spreading that information and doing some education as to just how desperate it is right now. So we will make a commitment to put that through your council leadership team and to you guys and to the staff. It's a big, big issue. So
thank you.
We're very, very focused on it.
Thank you, Mayor. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks. Anyone else? Sounds like we've got no water where we don't want it, and water and BDO where we don't. Did you, sorry, Councilmember
Just,
Murphy?
yeah, just real, I mean, I appreciate Carrie staying present with us on this, and, you know, I know that there was that letter sent out to addressing those things, and maybe it'd be good to catch up with you on, you know, some of the things that were said that way, so we can have a better understanding. And certainly, I mean, it's tough. I mean, certainly, what's going on there, and also just wanted to, you know, support or just make a comment about the salaries and things, and just we've got great people, and the fact that we're losing employees is a challenge, and we want to make sure we retain the best employees and provide a really good opportunity there. And part of that is paying for the employees, and so we need to make sure we have ways to earn the income and you know, do all that. So anyway, just a comment.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Good. Okay. I'll just say that I just want to thank Mr. Wayne for, I know that your level of frustration is not shown here. And I just want to thank you for that, Grace. I don't know, we're in a weird position too. It's, we were hoping to facilitate some solutions, and it's a difficult thing. It's not in our lane. It just isn't. But we've got a meeting tomorrow. Maybe we can talk about it. I think Ken, you're coming with me. We've got a joint leadership meeting tomorrow. Maybe we can talk through it there, see what we can do. There was Mayor, you sent an email a while back to the council and to Mr. Wayne in response to one of his emails that the engineering group was going to get engaged. So maybe we can get an update there. Those guys are as good as they get. So
I'll have that ready by tomorrow.
okay, I appreciate that. Okay, if there's no other comments, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Councilmember Heyer, second by Councilmember Lopez to adjourn. This is a voice vote. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? We are adjourned. Thanks, you guys.